Welcome to Stories That Matter. Thank you for coming out on July 27th. Our next storyteller is sitting right there, and Ginney Bilbray, why don't you come on up?
My name is Ginney Bilbray, and this story is called The Weight of the World. So I, like many women, have struggled with weight. I struggle with what the media tells us we should look like. I struggled in high school. I struggled in the military. I struggled after having a baby. I have struggled my whole damn life. And I have done things that I am not proud of, an attempt to manage that weight that has been detrimental to my mental health. Now, in junior high, I dressed exactly how I wanted to. I dressed in eccentric clothing with wild makeup. I mean, Cyndi Lauper was my fashion icon. And I didn't care what anyone thought. But then came high school, and things changed, and people changed, and what you looked like, especially weight-wise, seemed to matter. And when you didn't look like your friends, insecurities start to settle in, and you feel less than. And I got to high school, and my girlfriends were a size 0, a size freaking 0, all right? I also remember when Guess designer jeans came out in a size 0. All of my friends fit into them. So my family, we shopped at Goodwill and other charity shops. And if we were really lucky, we got to shop at Kmart and put things on layaway because my mom was dressing 4 kids. And sometimes layaway was the only way. And $100 designer jeans were not in my family's budget. So, a side note, I had a crush on a boy in high school for 4 years. And he was a football player, and he used to call me Swick, which was my last name. And we're sitting in our civics class, and it's the last week of our senior year. And he leans over to me and says, "Hey, Swick." And I say, "Yes." And he says, "What's your first name anyway?" Devastated. I couldn't believe this was happening, and I really thought it was because I wasn't a size 0. So enter some self-image issues. So I get out of high school, and I go to Flagstaff, and I get a job at a very popular bookstore, and life was great. But I go to work one day, and I got laid off. And I didn't know what to do. So I had no family to fall back on and no real money. So I go for a walk across the street from the condos that I'm living in, and there's a strip mall. So I start walking and looking at all the stores, and I notice a recruitment office. And I walk in, and guess who's in? The Marines. That's right. So I walk in and I say, "I need a job." And he says, "We're hiring." And off I went to boot camp. So in boot camp, I learned a lot of things. And my drill instructors were very, very strict on what we could eat in a place called the mess hall. Now, I grew up in poverty, and this was the most food I had ever seen. I'm talking steak, chicken, potatoes, rice, salad, soup, everything. All of it forbidden. My drill instructors were tough, and boot camp was tough. And I found out early on that if you were overweight, a fat body, your clothes would be striped white. So everybody knew, especially the guys in the mess hall. So I learned very quickly that I did not want to be part of that group. So I get out of boot camp and I go to the battalion, and I'm like, things have got to get better. And I find out that weigh-ins are public. So they shout your number out in front of the entire battalion. All right, so enter anxiety. So, I mean, if I thought high school was tough on weight, the Marines were tougher. And give me a break. We are the Marines, all right? Physical fitness is top priority number one. I mean, we're throwing grenades and using machine guns and just the works. And we had constant uniform inspections, and they made sure you did not gain an ounce. And I started having trouble with my relationship with food, self-harm, etc. So I make it out of the Marine Corps, 4 years honorably discharged, and I think I can finally breathe. And I get married, and I very quickly become pregnant. And I gain 100 pounds. That's right, folks, 100 pounds. Now, the doctors were all like, don't worry, it's baby fat, it'll fall off, don't worry. Liars. I would battle that weight the rest of my life. Now, my weight has been like a roller coaster, up and down, and I have tried every diet known to man. Jenny Craig, Weight Watcher, Slim Fast, cottage cheese and banana diets, starvation. And a little note, I have bipolar. And I got so manic one day that I found a sharp object, and I carved F-A-T into my arm. Now, I scared the crap out of my husband. I scared the crap out of myself. And I said, I have got to get this. I've got to beat this. So I am fortunate enough and privileged enough that I was able to get the help that I needed. So the world is crazy. Social media is crazy. The media is crazy. And all of the ways that I thought I was supposed to look went out the door. And I finally realized after all of these years that the number on the scale does not equal my self-worth. Yeah. All right? Thank you. Thank you. And now I wanted to say that I love me. I love all of me. Thank you.
Ginney, we just met, a month ago, maybe 2, 6 weeks, give or take. And you showed up at the open mic, I think. Yeah. And then we ran into in a restaurant in PV, which is like, is that girl who was at the open mic? Anyways, Ginney's worked in theaters in Arizona for a while. She's appeared in local theater productions of Into the Woods in Chicago. She's skilled in improvisation. You hearing, Liz? Okay, pay attention. She's worked in designing wigs and makeup for theater. She holds a Bachelor of Arts in English Literature and a Master of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies with an emphasis in theater. She has an upcoming one-woman show, and this is going to be in LA, right? It was featured at Hot Off the Press in LA, and we're going to put it on locally. Okay, working out the deals. Okay, and the show is called A Pretty Normal Life, so watch for that when it comes about. And she is a librarian at the Prescott Library? I'm a librarian at Yavapai College. Okay. When she was younger, she left her apartment in California to drive to Arizona and drove for a few hours and somehow ended up back at her apartment where she started from. I have no idea what she did for a couple hours. And her animal is a giraffe. Yeah. And why is it a giraffe? Because they're so graceful, and the eyelashes and all that stuff. But what about the giant blue tongue? Part of the package? Okay, good enough, good enough. Thank you, Ginney.